Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Carrie Beglow, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am going to hang on for just a bit to make sure that you guys can see me and hear me. I don't tend to like to wait around for those of you who are watching the replay. Hi, can you shout out and tell me if you can hear me? Because the weather's been freaky. So just make a comment or something. Okay, I'm just waiting to see if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, this is a little concerning because no one is commenting. So let me try this and see if... Okay, cool. Thanks you guys. Thanks. Sorry for that delay. I just... The weather is really bad. I've tried to make a few phone calls today and my phone doesn't want to let things go through. So wanted to be sure. Okay, so welcome to a Saturday Sip. I have a fun little card I'm going to share with you guys today. And I'm so excited about my non-squeaky chair. Oh, look at this. This humidity in the basement is messing up my little signs. There we go. .com. Okay, so what I am starting with today is the Pansy Patch stamp set, some of the matching designer series papers, and this is Pale Papaya cardstock, and it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11. So what you're going to do is you're either going to score it or fold it. I tend to just fold it, although when you're folding these longer ones, if you watch, see that? This is why... I don't know if you guys can see that, but see how it doesn't really want to fold pretty? That is why you want to take out your trimmer and use your scoring blade to score it. I don't normally do that except when they're going this direction, because it helps break down the fibers or something. It just does not want to score nice. So there you go. And it didn't score it perfectly, which is pilot error. I can promise you that this was pilot error. So, but it's okay because I'm going to trim it anyway. So, so now I'm reading my directions so that I'm doing this right. So now I'm going to trim off, and I'm going to take this piece that's already shorter, and I am going to trim it to 9 3/4. So, but I wanted to make sure I had that score line in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this to 9 3/4. I'm really hoping I have a better video than I did last Tuesday. Why does that look so short? I'm going to just fake it and see. Yep, that is not right. 9 and I think it's supposed to be 10. Hang on. Glad I didn't cut. Oh my gosh. So you guys are getting a little sneak peek of what I'm making. How about 10 1/4? Gosh. Glad I checked that. 10 1/4. All right. So now I have that piece cut off. Now I want to go on both of these sides and take off 1/2 inch, and I'm only going to go to this score line. So I'm actually going to start here. Okay. And then I'm just going to flip it over, go back to the 1/2 inch, come down to the score line, which is kind of hard to see when my face isn't right over it. Okay, I am almost done with this piece. Oops. So if you need to, snip a little closer to your edges, you can do that. You can use your trimmer to cut these off too, but I like to do stuff like this freehand with my snips. And I'm just going to get those pieces out of my way. Okay, so now you can see this is the base for your card. Okay, now I have a piece of designer series paper, and I'm telling you, I really like using the plaid for this, and you'll see why in just a minute. This piece is 4.5 by, should be 5 1/4. But let me make sure. Yep, 5 1/4. Now, that seems really weird, and you're right, it is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this to 4 inches, and I'm going to, because this is paper, you don't want to press too hard. I just want to get a good score line in there. And so now I have a 1/2 inch that I am then going to fold. All right. So I'm going to get a good fold line in there with my bone folder. And then I am going to take the Stampin' Seal Plus. Let me grab this while I'm at it. And I want to just put some adhesive just on that 1/2 inch that I folded over. And then I'm going to put it in here just as if I were matting it centered. Okay, so now that's going to open like that. And to cover this inside, I have cut a piece at 4 inches by 5 1/4. You could stamp something on here if you wanted to, but for the sake of the video, I will either do it later or just not now. Some of you may be wondering why I'm suddenly using the Seal Plus. I'm almost out of refills on my regular seal, and I'm kind of finding that I like Seal Plus the best. So, okay, so as you're watching this, I forgot to say, please say hello. Give me some likes and some loves, because that really helps me out. I really appreciate it. Okay, now, you've got the fold line, right? You're going to take your piece of the lighter color for the inside, and you're going to just line it up so it kind of matches that designer series paper. And you're going to just put it in place. Now I can see, yes, I can see, I've got white showing. Normally that would bother me, but today I'm not going to let it. Okay, so now what I am doing next is I am going to make sure I have all my pieces. I do. And do I? Yep, I do. Yay. I love when a plan comes together. All right, so now I'm going to mat these two together, but first I want to stamp a sentiment on here, and because this is actually going to be inside. So I'm using the Fresh Freesia. It's one of our new in colors. This is the same color as the cardstock and the plaid. This is from the I think I said the designer series paper that goes with the Pansy Patch suite. So I'm going to ink that up. And I should have a mat under here because it is photopolymer. So there you go. And then I'm going to just take this little, I cut these out. I wanted you to see this with the dies that go with the Pansy Patch set, which I have right here on the back. I have them taped to the back because this stamp set is so big that it's actually double-sided. So I have them just use some shipping tape to hold this in place, but has all the dies to cut everything out. And they do cut out some of the pansies, the big ones and the small ones, from the Pansy Patch paper. So I'm going to put a little adhesive on the back of this little guy. That looks like it's sticking out a little bit. So set that there. Uh-oh. Super sticky. Super simple. You guys know all about matting. I can see it's a little bit of adhesive sticking out, and I don't want that. I'll take my adhesive eraser. We used to sell that. I don't know if you guys have those, but oh my gosh, what is going on? It's a little too strong, perhaps. Just when I told you guys it was my favorite, today I'm having trouble with it. Do not know why. So now I want to make sure that this does not show. So I'm actually going to kind of hold it in place here and make sure I can see what I'm doing. All right. So now I know I can go ahead and set this right there. So it is hidden. And I forgot to tell you guys the dimensions of this. So let me grab my ruler real quick. So the basic white is 2 3/4 by 3 1/2, which makes this 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay. All right. So there's that. And then now you're going to see that this doesn't seem like it wants to fold quite right. So if you take it and let it be lifted just a little bit, you guys can see that. I don't know if you can see it's lifted a little bit. It's because it's thicker now. And so I'm just going to push that back down, and it will change the fold just a smidgen. Not a lot, but just a smidgen. And now it's not going to because I'm on camera. I swear, every time, you guys, every single time. It's really not funny, but there it is. Okay, so now this piece is supposed to be matted, and I didn't mat it. Why? Hold on 1 minute while I grab another piece of cardstock. I am going to cut something very quickly from my fiasco last week, or on Tuesday. So this designer series paper is 3 by 3 3/4. So I am going to cut a piece 3 1/4 by, did I say this was? Okay, 4. That should fit. And it doesn't. Dang it. Every single time I try to do something live, I screw up. I don't know what's going on with me, you guys. I don't know if it's the heavy medication they have me on or what, but oh my gosh. So I'm just going to take this one and trim it down a little bit to there. It hopefully won't mess up my design too much. Sometimes you got to fake it, right? You know, I mean, hopefully, yeah, you guys have been watching me long enough to know this is par for my course. Holy Hannah, I just don't understand what is going on with me. So I am going to put the floral side of this paper this time. Okay. And now this is going to end up being matted here, but, whoops, here. But before I do, I want to put a strip of, where is it? I had it cut. Oh, it fell. Okay. So I cut a strip of the gingham that I want to put on here, but I want it to line up with this gingham under here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive right like that. And I cut it extra long on purpose so I could kind of see. Let me move that out of the way. And there. So I think Sorry for my headshot, guys. I think that's going to be pretty close to matching up. Perfection is overrated. And now I'm just flipping it over and trimming off what I don't need. Then this almost looks like there isn't a fold. Can you guys see that really well, I hope? Okay. That's why I like using the gingham paper for this, because it's a lot easier to match up than if I were trying to do this flower side. It would be a little harder to do. So now I'm going to take this piece that I've re-engineered, and it may not look quite the way I expected it to, because I did trim it. And I'm going to center that actually right down to going over a little bit the gingham. So yeah, okay, it's okay. It's not quite what I expected, but it's all right. So there's that. And then I have another piece of basic white, and this one is 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday at the bottom. And I am done with the Fresh Freesia ink. And now here's a question for you guys. So I'm going to stand up so I can see, and there will be a little bit of a delay. I'm thinking I want to mat it like that. Okay, so there's that. But do you like it better matted with this? So let me see if I can kind of fake what that would look like. And that's interesting, but I'm not going to do it. So which one do you prefer it matted on? The sticky stuff. Pale Papaya or Fresh Freesia? And I'll give it just a minute so I can see what you guys are going to say. So Fresh Freesia. I think I agree with you, Donna. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that, so we're not sitting here all day waiting for me to make a decision. And so this is cut. Gosh, I've got stuff stuck everywhere today. It's crazy. Okay. So then I have another flower. Now, on the inside, you don't want to pop anything up or put any beads or anything like that on there because it's going to mess you up. But on this one, you can pop these up. Now, because it's the designer series paper, it's going to be thinner than cardstock. So I always like to do anything that I'm going to pop up. I like to do it after I have the adhesive on the back. And the reason is if I put this on with dimensionals and then turn it over, it's going to be lumpy and I could cause this to get like little wrinkles and stuff in it. So I'm going to center that right there. And then I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals. And you're going to want to put on extra because it's something thin. You want it to have a decent amount of support underneath. Now, some people might disagree with this. Maybe if you're handing the person the card, but if it's going through the mail process, you know those machines, they squish it pretty good. So let's try and keep it popped up. And, you know, I'm not one to use a ton of pop dots generally, but I think when it's on designer series paper, it's a good idea just to give it some more stability. So what is the weather like by you guys? Michigan has, yesterday was crazy. I mean, the news has been all about like crazy floodings excuse me, on freeways and things where semi trucks and stuff have been stuck, and cars, and they showed one viaduct that had a like a 14-foot clearance, and there was maybe 2 feet you could see under it, so there was like 12 feet of water. They're saying there's a lot of cars underneath that you can't even see. So, gosh, hugs and prayers for everybody who's going through that. And I pray nobody's left in their cars. It's just a horrible thought, but really frightens me. And also hugs and prayers for the people with the Miami situation. Oh my gosh, that just, the whole thought just terrifies me. Okay, so we're almost done. Now on the original, I actually had some gingham ribbon that matched this, which I think is really cute. But I didn't have that for the fresh freesia, and so I decided rather than wrap it around and tie it on screen, I would just make a bow. You know how I like to do, make the bows and then put the tear and tape on the back of them. And sometimes it comes off easy for me on a video, and sometimes I sit here like this picking at it for a while. I'm going to try using my snips. Hold on. Because, you know, I bought an additional take your pick tool, so I would have one on this side where I do my videos, and then I ended up giving it away to someone, so I have to order another one. You don't have to have 2 as a demonstrator, but you do if you're me and you get confused easily. So I am going to set that. I was going to set it right here, but I think I'm going to set it up there this time. So it's a little bit different. And then I want to add some of, these are on back order again. These are the in color jewels. I don't know about you guys, but the world back order situation, it's not just Stampin' Up. I know you guys know that. But it's like everything is on back order, and I feel bad for us. I feel bad for the businesses. It's just a crazy world right now. That pandemic did a lot more than make people sick and die, although that's probably the worst of it. And here I am complaining. So I'm just going to put a little gem right there. And then I cut out a couple of the small flowers also. So if you wanted to, you know, you could add some, or you could put them on the inside of your card. You could put a little flower or two, you know, if you wanted to on the inside. You could stamp a sentiment. But I just thought this was a fun fold, and I thought you guys would really like it. So again, the main piece is 4 1/4. You start out with 11, and then you trim it down to, I believe I said 9 1/4 or 10 1/4, and then you're going to trim a 1/2 inch off. All right. Excuse me. I will post the dimensions of everything underneath this video when I am done. If you're watching this on a shared, because I do ask everybody to please share my videos, because I do have drawings for every month for people who shared. And so if you're watching it on someone else's shared video, or you're watching it on my YouTube channel and you want to see the dimensions, go on over to my Facebook page, facebook.com/memory inkers, and you will see that there. Anyway, I hope you guys like it. Which one do you like better? I'm curious about that. I mean, they're really quite different. This one just really wants to pop up, doesn't it? So I like putting things on the inside too, Susan. Thank you, Pamela. I'm glad you like it. So let me know which one you guys like best, and I hope you guys will come back again. If you don't follow me on Facebook, I would love to have you go up and follow me. That would be great. And I will be back here on Tuesday for another Tiny Tip Tuesday. And I wish you all blessings. Stay safe. If you're in Michigan, try to stay dry. If you're in the drought areas, I wish we could send you some of our rain. Oh my golly, it's like the whole country's got something going on. So God bless you all. Have a fabulous day and a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching. See you on Tuesday.